Today I wanted to talk to you about motivation when things go wrong. Usually I would show you a nice painting for when I finished and I'll be happy with it, and it's like, yeah, that's awesome, I'm happy. But this painting, I had a good idea and I tried too hard and it got complicated and it went to shit. So I wanted to talk to you about what to do when things go to shit, and how do you get motivation back to paint another painting. Now, early on, if you're fairly new to this, most of your paintings will probably feel like that, and I know that. I've been there, and nearly every painting you have is a struggle to get onto the next one. I'm gonna try to explain, hopefully, that is a temporary thing and it goes away, but it never goes totally away, so you kind of have to accept it. So like I tried to say, I'm painting this painting right now and I know it doesn't go well because I already painted it and I already didn't work, but that doesn't mean I can't salvage it. But how do I get the motivation to go back to it, or just leave it and go on to the next one? I hear lots of people saying, like, how do I fix this painting, what's wrong with it, etc. Sometimes you just have to leave it and just say it didn't work out. That's okay. Not every painting is going to work out. You have to be okay to say, okay, yeah, it's not going to work. Obviously, you don't do that with every painting, otherwise they're never going to work. But if you don't have a good vibe about it, if it's not feeling right and you're just like, nah, I don't know what to do with this, then maybe it's not worth continuing. I'm not sure about this one. We can decide at the end if it's worth continuing. But I find that, when it gets really difficult and it turns into a bit of a slog, it's probably not going to work out for you, because the motivation to continue when it's not working too well gets lower and lower and lower, and to the point where you don't really want to do it anymore anyway. So if you get there, I would say just leave it. And I don't know about this one, but I had to leave it. I really didn't like it. I was just going to delete it and just think, okay, let's make another video. I record all my paintings anyway, just to see, because I don't know if it's going to work or not. And luckily for me, they work out more often than not now, but that's just because I've done hundreds of them. Maybe not in this style, but I've done hundreds of paintings. So, if this was early in my journey and I was doing, my 50th painting or something, then lots of them will fail. But this is painting number 300 or 400. I don't even know. It's maybe in the thousands. It's a lot. So the reason that they work more often than not is because I've been through this many times. But back to how you get your motivation back. You got to see it in a different way. You can't see your painting as a success or failure, no matter what. It's never a failure. Even if it's absolutely useless, it's not a failure. And, I've been through that where, obviously I was a beginner, and, my paintings early on, compared to what I can do now, were, it's completely different. So, but the feeling's the same. It doesn't really matter if you're amazing or, early on or experienced or whatever. It's, the feeling's the same no matter what level you're at. So you need to just understand that there's no success and failure in a painting. It's just a process that happens, and you do it. You try to stick to it, and what happens, happens. And sometimes you're not in a massive amount of control of that, because there's lots of variables that make what's going to happen. So, are you in a good mood? Do you really want to paint? Is your subject matter good? Is your composition good? Are your values correct? Etc., etc. There's a lot of it, and that's only a couple of them. There's a lot of variations and variables to determine if it's going to work or not. And, if it doesn't work, Which, if you're a beginner, like I said earlier, there's a good chance that it doesn't, more often than not, the other way around. And like I said, I've been through that, and what you gotta realize there is every failure is a win when you're early on. Every single failure, because you know not what to do. Every time, don't do that again. Don't do that again. Now, you might do it again, but that's not really the point. The point is, you know, like, okay, I tried that, it didn't really work. So subconsciously, that's getting filed there to not do it again. Okay, you will, but it doesn't really matter. You gotta just get desensitized to it, and the only way you do that is keep on going and going and going. It doesn't really, after a while, it doesn't really come into it. And we're all human. When I thought this painting was going to be really good, and obviously we go in with some expectations. That's a good thing, because that makes us enthusiastic to do it. But you got to keep in mind, when I started this painting, I thought, yeah, it's going to go well. Positivity or whatever doesn't really shape what's going to happen, but you want to get positive because that's fun. So I'm like, this is going to work. Like, I'm painting, this tree, can't stand it. Absolute horrible tree. And I'm like, this is a horrible tree. And I'm chipping away, and it's like, this is going to go good. This is going to go good any second. It's like, no, it just gets worse. So there's a bunch of reasons. Maybe I wasn't fully invested in this painting. Maybe I didn't like the composition or the colors, or maybe I was just having a crappy 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever. And you just gotta put it down to external circumstances and not worry about it. It's not a big deal. And the point is, do I still like painting? Yes. Do I still need to carry on? Yes. And I understand, though. I've been through some times where it's like, no, this is nonsense. I'm never going to get it. And I can't do it. And we're all going to get that. And I still get that now. But that when it all goes together, it goes well. But that is not going to happen all the time. So if you just think about, somebody in sports or something, they have a good game and a bad game. And painting is exactly the same. You have a good game or a bad game. And some of the best footballers in the world have bad games. Messi and Ronaldo have shockers. And we have shockers too. And it doesn't stop them playing football the next time and winning the World Cup. So you just have to realize we have form too. And sometimes your form is good. Sometimes it's really bad. Sometimes it's really good. And you just have to accept that sometimes it doesn't work out. And, we just give it a little bit of time. Even in sports, they won't just say, oh, I got to play like right now, because they're going to be bad again. Just give it a little bit of time. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. It's like, oh, I'm crap. You're not crap. It's just you had a bad day, a bad half an hour, whatever. And it's like, I just painted this now, and I could go and paint again right now, but I think it's probably not a good idea because my form is bad. So leave it, think about it, talk about it, whatever you need to do, chill out, go do something else, and it'll come back, and you'll go forward, and it'll be fun. So if this helped you whatsoever, give me a sub and a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.